Well, new day, and we bailed out of our campsite up in the Bighorn Mountains, which was a very scenic sight. But as I mentioned before, there was just a lot of traffic going by there. A few different things coming together, logging traffic, some inholdings, which are residential properties that were owned before it became a national forest. There's a few houses up there. Lots of just that season. A lot of people are camping there up in the mountains right now because it's August. And we unknowingly set up our camp right next to what's known locally as the phone booth, because it's one of very few places in the Bighorn you can get some kind of cell signal, because there's a line of sight down to the valley. So there was just too much traffic for our liking, so we bailed out of there, and we're in a new spot. I wasn't sure where we were going when we left, and it's Saturday, so we have like one more day we can be out before we have to be back in town. We got to be back Sunday because we have a reselling business and we have a bunch of stuff that's sold, and we've had our vacation settings turned on, so everybody knows it's not shipping the day they buy it, but we got to ship that out by Monday morning. So we're gonna be back in town on Sunday. There's a couple things I want to do on the truck before we take it out on another trip, but not anything earth-shattering. We'll show you it as we go. But anyway, we're camped right now at the base of the Bighorn Mountains. You can see the mountains behind me here. There are a couple ranches out here still between here and the mountains, but we are on some a grassland area here that does allow camping. There's really not much out here. It's elk and mule deer habitat during the winter, and apparently there's some fishing access up here. I'm not sure where, because it's a fairly large tract of land, like thousands of acres. And it goes back that way and up towards the mountains. Mostly just some grass and hills, but we'll look around and see what else we can find while we're here, because even in the grassland, there's interesting things happening usually. So this is where we're at now. We'll get the drone up, hopefully get you a better view of the area where we're camping, and we'll do some walking around and get some other shots too. But we're not too far from the mountains, not too far from Buffalo, Wyoming. And like I say, we'll be out today, one more night out, and then we'll have to go back to town tomorrow to take care of some things. But I'm expecting this is going to be nice and quiet and a nice dark sky when evening rolls around. So we are totally looking forward to that. And we've already been out, done a bit of hiking here, walked up this road behind us. It does kind of deteriorate after a while. I drove a van out there once, a fairways, years ago when I first found this place, and I always thought it'd be a great place to camp. Camping is allowed here. No fires or charcoal or any of that stuff. No fireworks, the sign here says. But there's, depending on where you're sitting exactly, there's no cell signal at all, or there's one bar of Verizon, but zero data transfer, and you cannot even send a text message. So because I have to be able to work while I travel, that wasn't viable for me, so I couldn't do it. Well, now we have Starlink, and you know, it's up on the roof here, and that allows me to camp anywhere I got a good view of the sky. So that's really open. I already have to have that for solar, so that's really opened some things up for me as far as being able to camp in some cool places that I couldn't get into before to stay very long. So pretty exciting. We'll show you around some here in this video, and like I said, we'll be going back to town tomorrow, getting some work done and a few things taken care of in the van, then we'll be back out. We got some ideas for where we want to go. There's places we definitely want to see, and it's going to come down to, in part, to the weather, because it's August, and so that means heat can be a challenge. Across the plains, the Great Plains here, the northern plains, it can get really, really hot in the summer, and we have air conditioning in the truck now, but we cannot run it more than a short while on solar. So if we're somewhere that's super hot, we either have to suffer or find a way to plug in. So that'll all affect where we go next, but it'll be somewhere. Well, morning has broken. It's the next day here. I slept great last night. To be honest, that's the best night of sleep I've had in a long time. I slept 8 hours very soundly. It was very quiet out here, which is wonderful. That's what we were aiming for. Nice, quiet, peaceful environment, nice dark sky. We did have a full moon, so that when it finally rose over that hill back there, that was bright for a while till it got up overhead. We had mixed clouds last night, so it delayed us seeing the moon, some of the moonrise. Anyway, nice quiet spot here. We're going to be making our way back to town today. We're going to do a few things on the truck, take care of a few other things we got to do in town, and we're trying to plot our next outing, where we're going next. The biggest variable, I think I might have mentioned this yesterday in the video, but our biggest variable is going to be the weather, because it's pretty warm right now. It's August. We're in the second week of August, and we're looking at a bunch of 90s in the forecast, and some of the places in the surrounding region where we can get to pretty easily for an outing, for some camping, are going to be even over 100. Some of the places we want to go, so that's a little warm off-grid. So we'll have to figure out how that all works out, what our best choice is going to be there. We're going to do something again very quickly, so make sure you stay tuned for those upcoming things. If you're not subscribed already, you might want to subscribe so you can hopefully be notified by YouTube when we post new travel videos or videos from working on the truck. There's going to be a little bit more of that coming very soon too. So we're going to be heading we're taking the back way, because I-90 is boring. Interstates in general are boring, but they're efficient and serve a purpose, but they're not exactly the most thrilling trips usually. So we're going to be taking a back way over and going through a few little towns and the prairie, and we'll bring you along and share some of that scenery with you, and hopefully you enjoy those sights as well. So we're in the cool little town of Clearmont, Wyoming. It's like 116 people as of the last census count, and it is in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. One of the cool things about Clearmont is they have their historic jail open and on display for the public at the town park. We did a video about that last year, and I'll have a link to that in the description if you want to check it out. But it's got some interesting stories around this little jail in this little town of Clearmont, Wyoming. And the historical center here, the Clearmont Historical Center, cool little place. It's a little building, but they have some interesting historical stuff. So if you're into history, and the kind that doesn't get written about in the big books especially, and you're passing through the Gillette and Buffalo and Sheridan, Wyoming area, you may want to check this out in Clearmont. cool little spot. And now we got to get back to town if we can. I found out this morning, just a little bit ago, the granddaughters are doing a bake sale, and they got some tables set up on the side of the road doing a bake sale. And so we got to go see if we can give them some money for food that we cannot eat because it's not on our diet.